All right, welcome to LEJ 138 Defensive Techniques, also known as DT. From this point forward, we'll just be referring to it as DT. That's just common verbiage known in law enforcement. If you explain to an officer that you're working on your DT, they'll understand what you're talking about. So what is defensive techniques? Defensive techniques is basically everything related to the use of force. And we're going to cover and go through that very quickly so that you have an idea of what you're about to get into when you get into the police academy. Before we proceed, going forward, I would like for you guys to take a moment and reflect on where you're at. Okay, so you guys have chosen to pursue a career in law enforcement. So in my eyes, right, there's something right now at this very moment that is inherently good about you. So in looking at that, right, you've chosen a passion, a calling, or a purpose, right, in serving your community and in a general speaking, your country. All right, so that makes you inherently good. And I always like for officers to refer back to this day, right, or this place in time, right, so that you remember, hey, this is what I chose to get into, right, and there's respect that comes with that, especially from me and your community. So keeping that respect, right, is always just doing a good job and then putting your best effort towards what you're working on. In defensive techniques or the use of force, right, there's going to be 3 battles. These 3 battles have to be won in this exact order. The first battle is the legal battle. All right, do you have the right to do what you're about to do? Do you have the right to physically put your hands on or physically confront somebody, right? And we're going to cover that in case law so that you have a good understanding on that. All right, the second battle is the physical battle. Do you have the physical capabilities to actually do the job? Whether it's putting handcuffs on an individual, whether it's using pepper spray, whether it's taking somebody down, do you have the physical skills necessary to win that battle? The third and final battle is the mental battle, or basically the emotional battle. Can you live with what you just did? So again, to recap, there's 3 battles in any use of force encounter. It's the physical, the legal, and the mental/emotional. All right, so we'll be covering all 3 of those battles, right, in the next 16 weeks. All right, going forward in how we're going to present and communicate with subjects and ourselves is we're going to work under an acronym called ATM. All right, so it's going to be ask, tell, and then make. We're going to respectfully ask an individual to comply. We're going to get them to do what we need them to do to make sure that everybody's safe. And when that doesn't work, we're going to tell them what to do. Our verbiage will pick up, our command will sound more serious, right? And then finally, then we'll be forced to make them do what we need them to do or make them comply. I'm going to introduce you to 4 factors that I need you to ingrain in your training, right, over the next 16 weeks. I'm going to show you some videos on it. I'm going to talk about it. I'll show you how you can spin it in different directions. But these 4 factors, as far as your training goes, they will help you tremendously going forward. Millions of dollars have been spent on fear research, right, to make sure that first responders, military, you guys can react and respond the right way, right, instead of being gripped by panic or acting out of panic and fear. Your first factor is breathing. All right, we need to embrace our breathing. Having control of your breathing, right, means that your body's in control, your mind is in control, and you're not panicked. Panic breathing means that's exactly what's going on in your head, right? You're panicked. Your mind's going 1,000 miles an hour, and it's hard to find the one thing that you need to do to focus on. Your second factor is mental rehearsal/visualization. All right, being able to replay those reps in your head, right, as many times as you can before actually performing the task so that your body already knows what it needs to do and when it needs to do it. Again, mental rehearsal/visualization. When we learn something, whether it's handcuffing, whether it's throwing strikes, whether it's takedowns, right, when you're laying in bed, it's as simple as just close your eyes and visually see yourself, right, in first person performing that task over and over and over again so it comes more naturally and easy to your body. The third factor that I need you guys to get on board with is goal setting. Goal setting starts on a small basis, right? So right now it's just I'm going to get through the next 5 minutes. I'm going to get through breakfast. I'm going to get through, if I'm being tasked with physical exercise or physical training, right? Most of the time in an in-person class, I'm doing it for you. I'm telling you, hey, there's only 10 seconds left. Push, pick it up. I'm going to ask you to dedicate 4 hours of your week to this course. right? And then hopefully you'll be able to do more. But I need you to embrace goal setting. It starts with these little goals. All these little goals over the course of however many weeks, they add up to making that one big goal very achievable and doable. The last factor, number 4, that I need you to embrace is called self-talk, right? We say approximately 300 to 1,000 words per minute to ourselves. That talk influences our performance and it influences how we think. If I keep my thoughts and talk to myself positive or motivating, then my performance will be positive, right? And I'll be motivated to get it done. If I use negative thoughts and I think about quitting, or I think about I'm afraid, or if I think I'm scared, then that's what's going to happen. All right. So being able to talk yourself through a situation, self-talk, being able to talk yourself through the day or physical demanding training, it's going to be important. So again, recap your 4 factors, right? Breathing, mental rehearsal / visualization, goal setting, and self-talk. One of those all by itself is going to be very helpful. But when you can find a way, which I'm going to show you how to do, put all 4 of those factors together on a daily, weekly, or hourly basis, right, you're going to find you're going to have success in anything that you're doing. During our course, I'm going to introduce you to the 3 arts that reign supreme on the street. In no specific order, it's going to be number 1, boxing, right? Everybody should know what boxing is. All right, and then number 2 is the art of Muay Thai. That's punches, elbows, knees, and kicks, right? You're going to use all 8 of those weapons while you're standing on your feet. And your 3rd art is going to be Jiu-Jitsu. All right, also in this week's learning module is a video about the TI simulator. All right, I'd like for you guys to watch the video because when we can go back to in-person learning, what I'd like for you to do, and you guys have graduated the course, is reach out to me, and on a day that I'm when I'm at the college and my classroom is open, I will open up the TI simulator to walk you guys through it. I'd like for you guys to all at least have the chance to be on the TI simulator at least one time, to where all of this training that we're going to do over the next 16 weeks, you could see how well it works, right, in your verbiage, your communication. And the TI simulator is just it's a very, very good tool to prepare you for what goes on in police work. The last thing that we're going to need to do today is I need you guys to go to the GTK thread in the discussion board. That's just get to know, right? And I need everybody to post your name, where you were born, where you grew up, if you have any structured training whatsoever. It could be band, anything where you had to pull reps on a regular basis or practice to get better. It could be anything, but if you've had structured training, it's important for me to know that. If you haven't, then going forward, I'll help structure your training at home. And then the last thing that I need you guys to do is to tell me what your dream law enforcement job is. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep a record of it. And then over the course of the next 16 weeks, I'm going to be introducing you to different fields in law enforcement. It's a big law enforcement world out there. There's a lot of things that I think that I can open your eyes up to. I just want to make sure that as you proceed forward, that you have you know what your dream job is, and that you're making goals to get it. It could be the FBI, it could be a detective, it could be K9. That's a common one. That job may not be available, but something similar that you'll find your passion in maybe out there. But as far as like me getting to know you and understanding your dream job, I will be introducing you guys to occupations that I guarantee you had no idea were available. All right. Thank you very much. That concludes our Intro to DT video. And then I'd like for you guys to get started in your learning module right away. Thank you.